So an interesting thing happened to me, or not happened to me, but an interesting thing occurred that really got me thinking. I have a 55-gallon tank full of African cichlids, and it's known that they need to have warmer water, and the internet said that you should have the water between 72 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So for the longest time, I probably had it around 72, 74, but I recently got a aquarium thermometer or aquarium heater, and I upped it to about 76 degrees. Now, up until that point, the biggest fish in there I used to hate because he would always bully the other fish. He had a spot inside of the tank that he pretty much allocated for himself. He moved the rocks around the way he wanted and everything, and he would go off on any fish that tried to come near him. But what I noticed is that when I increased the temperature of the entire tank, all of the fish started to make little places for themselves inside of the tank. They were all making their own little shelters, moving the rocks, and getting the curve of the rocks just perfect for themselves so that they could, when they went to sleep at night, they could lay their bodies down inside of there and just chill. And so it got me thinking, I wonder how much is true for human beings. Like, how many of us simply haven't been able to make a place for ourselves in this world because our environments simply are not comfortable? And I'm not saying that, comfort means we have to wear, quality, top line clothes or anything like that. I mean, just our basic needs not being met. Maybe being cold at night, not having enough to eat, not having enough love or nurturing. And if more of us experience just a basic level of comfort, how that would affect our ability to kind of create a space for us in this world. And I remember a couple of years ago when I was at Emory, I was doing research for a paper, and I came across this book called Creativity and the Mind. And it was very, very specific and adamant that in order for kind of full creativity to flourish, the mind has to be comfortable. The mind has to be peaceful. And I just think there's probably a whole lot of us, even myself included, that have had to, kind of fight to figure out what they wanted in this world because they just simply didn't have some basic needs met. Now, the older I get, the more I'm able to provide for myself and things of that nature. And I feel like at 43, I'm just now kind of starting to figure out what my purpose is and, what contribution I make to this world. So, a lot of people I'm sure would say, well, clearly that just means you're a socialist. You want to take from the rich to make sure that, everything is equally distributed. But I believe possibly that it maybe is some sort of happy medium, that maybe it's in the best interest of society to make sure that most people's basic needs are met, so that then each one of these human beings can then contribute their best to society, and society benefits as a whole from that. So I don't know, just something to think about.